Where's my man Ryan Noda? Noda, how are you?
I'm good. How are you guys doing?
You know what? We got down here down to the facility for fantasy camp, and I got to tell you, we were in Nashville for the winter meetings. That was great, but it's great to finally be back in Arizona, and it's making me miss baseball. We're missing you. We're missing baseball. You've got to be chomping at the bit right now.
Oh yeah, definitely chomping at the bit for sure. It's funny you say that. I'm actually in Nashville now. Got here in January. It's a little bit warmer here than it is in Cincinnati to train and get everything I need to get done before spring starts.
So, what was this offseason like for you now that you've established yourself as a big leaguer? What were like the main things you felt like this is what I need to do?
I was just able to eat better, eat right, and just have enough time in the day to go and recover and get everything I need to do to get my body right to come into spring training ready to go.
Yeah, that was a big thing for you. I remember we talked in the off season. But what essentially anything like swing wise? Have you worked on anything like mechanics wise with that?
Yeah, definitely. Just trying to get more consistent. Staying short and to the ball. I got with Bushy a couple times, had some calls with him, and just going through little adjustments need to make just so I can be more consistent and help the ball club out.
What was it like from a mental standpoint to go through this off season, not being a Rule 5 guy, not being a minor leaguer with the Dodgers, but knowing that you're a true bona fide Major League Baseball player? What was that like from a mental standpoint?
It was good. It just means that I had to put my head down and work even harder. And, I'm grateful for the opportunity I got last year and, grateful for all the coaching staff and players around me to help get me better and, progress through the year. And I feel like that this next year is just another stepping stone for us just to keep getting better, keep working and showing people that we can actually come out and compete and, win a lot more ball games.
I know you proved to the baseball world, but what did last year prove to you?
Just that ever since I was 3, I always wanted to be a big leaguer, just like everybody else on that field. And, just being able to, first get that first hit and go from there, it just really solidified that, I belong and I can do something in this game and, hopefully help lead the team and just become an even better person and player.
Was there ever a point? What was the point, though, where you said, yeah, I do belong? When did you finally feel last season like, yeah, I do belong here? I do belong in the big leagues?
I'd have to say the first homer. Yeah, that was definitely one moment where I was just like, all right, like it's the same game. So I just go out there and just give it your all and just be you.
Yeah, the thing that I really enjoyed, we just had Nick Allen on, is that this young group, and I know you guys have been texting each other this offseason. You got something here. You got this nucleus. Talk about this kind of bond that you guys are establishing. Geloff, a lot of the younger players, that leads me to believe that this upcoming season is going to be far better than what we saw last year.
Yeah, we saw it towards the end of the year and how, no matter how the season was going, the locker room was always good. The plane rides were always good, hotels, everything. We always started to hang out more towards the end of the year and just create a nice brotherhood and a bond that's, what you need in this game. It takes a team to win. And I feel like we got the right guys and I feel like we got the right people as just their personalities and how they go about their business and just wanting to win. So I think this year is going to be a good test to us and, see how we come out and how much fire we bring and, hopefully we surprise some people and then hopefully it gets to a point where we're done surprising and people are known.
I got to ask you about Mitch Spence, who is the Rule 5 pick from the New York Yankees that the Athletics picked up in the Rule 5 draft at the winter meetings. We were there. We were trying to get the information out of David Force. He wouldn't give it to us, but we finally got to see the pick. It's not easy being a Rule 5 guy. Now that you have done it, will you pull him aside, have some conversations? Do you have in the back of your mind any advice you might have for him to get through spring training going into the year?
Yeah, I definitely can do that. I think last year spring training for myself, I put a little too much extra pressure on myself just to try to, prove that I belong. And, hopefully, I've heard he's a good dude, and, we're happy about that. We have a lot of good dudes in the clubhouse, so he'll fit right in. And I'll definitely be there for him if he has any questions or needs any answers for how to deal with certain things coming to New York, because I've done that quite a bit. So I'll definitely be there to help him out when he needs it.
Yeah, people just don't understand. You're a unique guy when you're the Rule 5 guy. You're different from everybody else on the roster. Your situation is different from everybody's, and a lot of people don't think about that. Yeah, there is a lot of pressure when you get in this random draft that not a lot of people follow that happens at the winter meetings. People, most people don't see it because the media doesn't really cover it, but everybody in baseball goes into that part of the convention center, and all the GMs, all the assistant GM, everybody goes in there. The Rule 5 draft's a big thing for front offices. For the rest of baseball, it isn't. And when you're that pick and you go to spring training, there is a lot of pressure because you're this one unique guy and you're not like anybody else.
Yeah, it's definitely a different aspect to the game, but I think it's good. I'm one of a handful of guys that have benefited from the Rule 5 draft, just being log jammed in a system that, like the Dodgers were when I was there. And I think it's good for Spence, and it's good for our team. We're getting a nice righty that comes in and throws strikes, fills his zone up, and, it's going to be a bulldog on the mound. So I'm excited to get him in the clubhouse, and I think the guys are excited as well. And hopefully, we can have another good Rule 5 back-to-back years.
So last night, as everybody's sitting around here at fantasy camp and everybody's having drinks, I got to hang out with the dentist of the Oakland Athletics and the doctor that helped you. And he was, kind of talking about, wow, that was, people don't realize how scary your situation was with your broken jaw. Obviously, you played one game through it. They didn't know yet. You hadn't had x-rays, but man, that's pretty scary what you went through. I don't think a lot of people understand what your situation was, what you're going through when you found out you had that broken jaw.
Yeah, it definitely was. Wasn't something you see every day in the baseball field, but something unfortunate that happened. But got to have a good dentist to work on me and get me back into the game last year, and it was definitely weird because physically I felt perfectly fine, but couldn't eat food, couldn't open my mouth. Definitely talking a lot better now. But yeah, definitely, I grew up playing hockey.
Did you lose weight?
Yeah, I lost about, I think after all said and done, it was about 10 pounds.
Damn.
I was on a nice smoothie diet for a while, and it's a good thing I like smoothies, but it did get old. I would see steak and good chicken and just some good food. I'd always just want to eat it. And I'm like, man, I think that was the toughest part.
God, you're in the clubhouse and they got Mexican food and they got steaks and you're sitting there going, another protein shake. That's gotta be brutal.
Yeah. And sometimes, we put some real food into the blender with some chicken broth so I can get a little taste of something. So, that was definitely different for me. I would not expect to have a broken jaw in my baseball career, at least, from something that wasn't a pitch up and in.
So just, what's been going on? Just let all the fans know. What have you been doing this off season when you've been away from baseball? What did Ryan Noda do for a little fun during the holidays? And non-baseball wise, what's been going on in your life?
I'm trying to get into learning the piano. It's a lot harder than I was expecting. So we're getting there. A couple more years, I think I can, maybe show some skills off. But other than that, just hanging out with the family, girlfriend. It was a good time for us just to relax and have some, good dinners and see more family than I'm used to seeing, and that was a blessing.
Trying to learn the piano. I like that. A skill set as you're getting older. Yeah, the coolest thing about that is like someday you're going to be rolling in and there'll be a bunch of people and you'll be in this fancy hotel in a lobby and you can just get down and start, and it'll be like one of the most impressive things. I've actually seen it happen before. Whenever the guy can roll out of nowhere and start playing piano, everybody always goes like, damn, you could be that guy.
And that actually happened when I was in Double-A with the Dodgers. Andre Jackson, we were in Wichita, and I was going out to get some breakfast, and all of a sudden I just hear the piano playing like in this little side room in the lobby. And I was like, who's playing? It actually sounds pretty good. So I walked back there, and I was like, Andre? I was like, what? I'm like, so it was pretty sweet. And that kind of enticed me a little bit. And, this year I was like, you know what? I'm having a little bit more downtime than usual. Might as well learn something.
By the way, Lucas Ursig of your Oakland Athletics has just chimed in saying hello, by the way. Lucas, I hosted the 38th annual Santa Clara County Baseball Banquet where we honored him as Pitcher of the Year in Major League for Bay Area guys. He was Pitcher of the Year, so we just honored him. So, Lucas, if you're watching or you're listening, great to hear from you. It was great to see you the other night. And go ahead, Ryan, say hello to your teammate.
What's up, Earth? How we doing, baby?
He's a big part of what's going to, pitching, obviously, we're talking about a lot of you young guys, and I don't really see you as a young guy anymore, but there's a lot of young guys, and you guys are going to have to pull your weight, obviously, but the pitching's going to be interesting because guys like Lucas Ursig, and we were talking earlier about all the different potential guys who could be starting. You got a lot of good arms coming through the system right now.
Yeah, definitely. Lucas was a big part of our success when we had it last year. Get on the mound and being a Bulldog, and he's got a unique situation. He came up as a position player. So I'm still trying to get him in the cage once in a while to see if he can still has the swing. But, we love having him on the mound, and we do have a lot of other young guys that are coming up, and we saw some of them last year, and especially Boyle coming in and finishing strong last year when we got him. I'm excited to see what we got and, just keep rolling from there.
Let's end on this. Nick Allen said it, and then he really said it once he was off camera and we were done and we know you were coming up. He's like, we're going to be a lot better. And just talk about that, how you guys don't want to go through the same situation you went through last year, that there is something amongst all you guys that you're like, this year is going to be far better.
Yeah, no one likes to lose. I've always said it. I think I hate losing more than I like to win. So it definitely was a little tough last year in the beginning of the year, how we started. But the way we finished and how we competed against everybody, and especially guys or teams, I should say, that, made it far in the postseason and even won the World Series last year, we competed and won. So I think we all know what we can do and what we're capable of doing as long as we stick together, do the little things, and, just become the family that we became at the end of the year.
Great stuff. Always good to see you. Can't wait to see you at spring training. So be well, enjoy Nashville, and we'll see you in February down here in the Valley of the Sun.
Sounds good, Chris. Nice seeing you too.